Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And speaking of the daily Discord updates, the market, went up today and I, updated you pretty much every single hour and I told you what's going on. I even gave you support levels and resistance level and new wave counts. So speaking of that, let's talk about what's happening. And well, first of all, I want to talk about the 4-hour chart. As you can see right here, we actually formed a 1, 2, 3 setup, and right now we seem to be working on the fourth wave move down. I will talk about this as well. First, let's actually talk about the RSI, because this is what I mentioned yesterday. I told you that if we get above the moving average on the RSI and we stay above it, I think when I made the video we were about here, I told you that we could get a reaction and we could finally form some kind of 5-wave move to the upside, and by the looks of it, this is what we're trying to do right now. Keep in mind, to actually get bullish, we have to break above this high right here to break out of the downtrend, and this high right now is currently at 60.8 cents, and we might break it in the next couple of hours if everything goes well. And yeah, let's go on the 1-hour chart for a second because there's something to know here. So let's start from the low right here. This was at 51.2 cents. It invalidated our big 1-2 setup, and right now we are trying to form that big 1-2 setup again. Of course, it's not going to go up in a straight line. We still need to get 5 waves up before we do that, and I'm going to talk about that as well. But first, as you can see here, we had a 1-2 setup. We reacted perfectly to the 50% extension. This seems to have been an ABC structure with an overshooting B wave, and then we got to the third wave targets, which, were available for the members. The third wave seems to have topped over here. This looks like it's some kind of, well, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, but not on the 1-hour chart. I think it's better to look at this chart on the 50-minute chart. You can theoretically count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. Maybe it's gonna go a bit higher. If it does, there are other resistance levels on the chart, and well, we already got to the 200% support, not the support, but the resistance for the third wave. So it's enough, but if it overextends, it's okay, and it could overextend to the 2.272 or the 2618. So keep that in mind. But if it doesn't, and if we get a correction right now, the target for the fourth wave move down is this support zone. My target is the 0.382 support level. We don't really need to drop, any lower than that. But if we do, I really want to see the price find support at 56.9 cents or 56.1 cents. And usually the fourth wave move down does not drop to the 618, so I don't really want to see the price drop that low. But if it does, we need to get a reaction right here. And yeah, we cannot afford to break below the 618, because if we do, that could be extremely bearish and it could turn the small 1, 2, 3 setup into a diagonal. So we cannot afford to get to the 618 or below it, because like I said, it's gonna be a diagonal. And yeah, let's go on the 4-hour chart now. Let's see what's going on over here. I gave you this pattern yesterday, but basically, like I said, we are still trying to form 5 waves up. We had 5 waves up here for the first wave, and right now, after invalidating it, we're trying to do it again. And well, we're still working on the, first wave of the first wave right now. So it's gonna take some time, but I hope it's not gonna take as long as it did over here, because when I look at it right now, this structure was not really that impulsive, and that's not really extremely usual, especially when you consider the fact that this is supposed to be the beginning of the third wave So what I want to see right now is the chart, form a 1-2 setup, which looks a lot better than what we had over here. And honestly, I would want to see this, in the next couple of, let's say, days or weeks. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it should not take, like, how long did this take? This took about 1 month. It should not take 1 month to form a small 1-2 setup. This should take like 2 weeks at most. So we'll see if we do that. Obviously, this target is not really a target for the first wave. The first wave will most likely get above this high right here, let's say, and then we'll need a second wave move down, a third wave move up, a fourth wave move down, and a fifth wave move up. And once we get these 5 waves, I will finally be able to confirm that we have bottomed over here and that we are heading to my third wave of the third wave targets. So yeah, that's still valid, but we still need to complete the 5 waves up before we do that. And yeah, I mean, the chart is still looking healthy. I will make sure to update you on the situation right here. I mean, even this text on the chart says that the market situation is still extremely unclear because we still have not broken above this high. And by the way, even if we do, the next high that we need to break above is this one right here, which is at 65.8 cents. And then we also need to break above this one, which is at 73.2 cents, and break above the bull market support band to confirm that something more bullish is going on. But honestly, looking at the RSI right now, it's probably going to get to the overbought territory, and by the time it gets to the overbought territory, we're already gonna have 5 waves up, which is gonna be perfect because, well, this is gonna be the first wave move, then we're gonna need an A, B, C down for the second wave move down, and that's gonna be the perfect time to actually cool off after getting overbought right here. So this is what I think is gonna happen if we actually continue respecting support levels. Now, if we don't, it's gonna be a different story, and I'm gonna make sure to update you on the Discord. But yeah, let's take a look at the daily as well. Let's see what's going on over here. As you can see on the RSI, there are some good news over here. We got above the moving average, and well, I think we're gonna test it very soon. Keep in mind right here, about a couple of days ago, when we formed this new low, or pretty much this triple bottom over here, I think this was actually yesterday, I'm sorry, when we did this, the RSI went to the exact same levels where it went to over here in February. So, I mean, even here in, let's say, August of 2024, that's where the RSI went to again, and back then we were at like 27.8 cents, and as you can see, after that, we did not go up in a straight line. Instead, we formed a, pretty small, but 1-2 setup. So this is what we need to do right now as well. Also, do not forget, over here in this pattern, before we actually formed a 1-2 setup, we got another low in the main second wave move down, and that low actually happened before the cross on the bull market support band. And right now, we pretty much did the exact same thing. Of course, this is not a, extremely significant lower low, but it is a lower low when you zoom out extremely, much. But yeah, I mean, right now we have not had a cross on the bull market support band, and we got another low just like we did over here. So maybe this is a coincidence, but then again, maybe it's not. I mean, even here in 2023, the low that happened, the bear market low, happened before the cross on the bull market support band. So yeah, let's see what happens with the daily chart. Like I said, we need to stay above the moving average on the RSI, and if we do, things could turn extremely bullish. Now, going to the weekly chart, I mean, this is actually looking very healthy, and well, we need to stay above these lows, obviously, because if we do not, we could, get another low, and that could put us back to like 38 cents, so we definitely do not want to see that. But I did warn you about this a couple of weeks ago. I told you when we were up here somewhere that we broke below the moving average on the RSI, and I told you that this could be a bad sign, and by the looks of it, it was a bad sign, but that's okay, because well, right now we can finally start getting above the moving average again, and if and when we do, we should, get back above it, retest it like we tried to do over here, and this time stay above it, and that could give us a very big bounce, and that's what we're waiting for. But again, that's gonna happen when we get the cross on the bull market support band, and when Bitcoin dominance starts breaking down. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin dominance for a second as well. Bitcoin dominance is finally going down. It's down like, let's say, about 0.7%, which obviously is not a lot. However, if you look at the RSI right now, we are currently at the moving average on the weekly, and if we drop below it, this could lead to a much bigger move to the downside. Also, do not forget, we just had a cross on this chart, and this is a bearish cross. Usually when we get a cross like this, the price drops. So I think this is pretty much the beginning of the altcoin season. If it's not, then I don't know what is, because, well, everything is lined up perfectly, and honestly, we're just waiting for Bitcoin dominance to start breaking down right now. Also, before I continue talking about ADA, I have to mention Ethereum. As you can see, well, actually, let's go on the 4-hour for this. As you can see, it actually got a reaction to the 0.382 support level that I gave you, and the second wave move down could be in. You could count this as some kind of ABC structure, and also we got above the bull market support band here, which is a very good sign, and the next target is the 200-day moving average. So if we get above that, things could turn extremely bullish, and Ethereum could finally start outperforming Bitcoin, which could lead to a big Bitcoin dominance drop. Also, Bitcoin right now, even though it did not get to the 0.32 support level. It theoretically has an ABC down here, and in some cases this could work, but you know, in order for this to work, we still need to get above these highs, so $109,000 and then above $110,000 to confirm that something more bullish is going on and to confirm that we are actually going in this target zone. So things are starting to turn bullish, but if we do get another low, it's not going to be the end of the world, so please keep that in mind. Now, going to the Cardano monthly chart, there's something here that you need to know. We are still below the moving average and we have like a week left to get above it. If we do not, this could turn pretty bearish. So what we need to do right now is get above it and hopefully finally get some kind of move that looks like this over here in July. And well, it's gonna be pretty weird if that happened, because usually the crypto market does not do too well in July in a post-halving year. But if this cycle is any different, then, you know, I'm gonna be surprised, but I'm not gonna complain about it. And yeah, I mean, that's all you need to know for today. I'm not gonna really talk about ADA Bitcoin this time, but you know, we are seeing a bounce right here, so this could be the beginning of something much bigger. But don't get your hopes too high. We still need to, you know, form 5 waves up here on the Cardano chart. And like I said, I'm gonna continue updating, you know, the chart for the members, and I'm gonna continue posting updates. And this, you know, is still looking extremely healthy, at least so far, but it's not gonna look healthy if we do not stay above the support zone right here. Also, right now, what we need to do after getting the 4th wave move down, we need to get back above the moving average on the 4-hour RSI, or actually maybe we could, you know, still stay below it. Right now, we could drop to like 56 cents in the 4th wave move down, and then when we finally start, you know, trying to get back above it, we're gonna get rejected, but that's gonna be okay, because by the time we get rejected, the price will already be at the 5th wave targets, and that could be the perfect time to start the ABC down. So the market is looking good today. We'll see what happens in the next couple of hours. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, check out the YouTube memberships and the Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates for, you know, a pretty significant amount of money. I mean, it's no longer $6. This one has only one membership left, so you're probably gonna have to pay $12, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna get your money's worth if you get this. So again, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.